Hello, my name is Angela Graham, and I am a fifth grade math science teacher here at Windsor STEM Academy in Linden, Ohio. I'm going to do a short instructional video on how to make your own Bitmoji Classroom using Google Slides. Now, as you can see, I'm on my drive here, and you're going to go to the first part where it says New with a Google plus sign. You're going to go scroll down and go to Google Slides. Now, for this presentation and how we're going to make it, I will say I'm just going to make one slide. You can make others, and there's ways to connect them to each other when kids click on certain things, but we're going to make this a very simple layout for the terms of people just beginning this process. I'm going to write a title. I would recommend making a good title that you can remember. I typically put Bitmoji Classroom or my name, Bitmoji, but for this one, I'll go Bitmoji Example. What you're going to do here is you're going to delete the title and the subtitle so it's completely blank. Okay, we're not going to add anything there. Now, some people I've noticed watching other videos and seeing some people's Bitmoji classrooms are forgetting to set the background as the wall and the floor rather than just inserting an image, or else it gets really hard to actually decorate it because your background will slide away. So what you're going to do is you're going to right click. If you're using a Google Chromebook, then you just double tap with two fingers. Don't click, but tap. And you're going to go where it says change background. You're going to click that, and then you're going to see choose image. Now, this is why you should look in advance, save pictures to your desktop in a folder labeled Bitmoji. I've done quite a few of those. You can even use templates you find on Teachers Pay Teachers. There's a lot of free ones on there. I would recommend not spending money on it because, as we know, things are tight and weird right now. So it's best that we actually just help each other out. And there's a lot of teachers with that mentality, and they're actually sharing a lot of free resources. If you're from my school, I can share with you a little collaboration of them that I've been collecting from these free resources and other teachers in our school. But make sure you email me and ask me for that so I can share it with you. Now, I'm going to click choose image, and I'm going to upload. So there we go. As you can tell, I have a lot here. I save my Bitmojis. That's in another video that I recommend you save a whole bunch that you think would be beneficial. And making, if you're making a Google site or just a Google slide with your Bitmoji classroom, what have you, I recommend having that on there. But I have saved right here. Let me go to it. Bitmoji backgrounds. Okay. I saved a few. I'm just going to pick a really generic one, hopefully a really good one I've been seeing around. I would probably do one with just the wall and floor. I wouldn't, put too much emphasis on the ones that have things already in it, like your whiteboard and stuff. You can add that on your own. So let's see if we like it. This one's a little blurry, so I might replace it real quick, but it's really just your preference. I try to avoid smaller images that might be a little blurred. Like, as I said, I saved a lot of these. Some of them I like more than others. So I'm just going to use this one. Nope. As you can tell, this is always a learning process. There we go. I'm gonna let it load. Again, it's kind of hard also to find some that don't have watermarks, so it's really helpful if you put free after it. If you look, Google Bitmoji backgrounds or classroom backgrounds, leave it like that, or type in Bitmoji wall and floor background and put free after. You might find a lot more that don't have the watermarks, which are that little writing or images that are like all over the photo, which is just a copyright thing, but it's kind of annoying trying to cover them up. And now you see here, I can click all I want, but I'm not moving my background, and that's the point. Instead of this. Now comes adding the images. Now there's a couple ways to go about this. If you're looking for something pretty simple, you can just go to Insert, Image, and then you can do Search the Web, and you can type them in here, like of course whiteboard, and I am going to put down transparent afterwards. It's important that you do this, or else the picture that you're going to try to put on will be covered in a background, and it won't meld into the background like you've seen in other Bitmojis. It needs to be transparent. And I will say that's really, really hard to save images that are transparent because sometimes they will default to having a white background, which will stick out. But see, especially ones that have this little black around it, it's showing that's empty space. So I'm going to click an image that I want. Show me this one. I'm going to click Insert. And now you see here, there's literally, it blends into the background. There's no white, no black surrounding it. and then I can make it whatever size I would like. And let's say maybe I want my classroom to be smaller, bigger, what have you. Really, it's just got to imagine the dimensions. So I'm going to put this here. And that's the first step there. You can keep going around here and adding rugs and stuff, which again is search the web, as long as you put the transparent word, that will help you. And this, I will say, the one annoying thing about the rugs is if you're using this method to find them, there's not a lot of options here, as you can tell, because then it's really hard if you look at certain ones like these, because some of them aren't they're not diagonal and they're not from the profile, their side profile view. And if you do that, it's going to act weird. Like, let me show you an example. I'm going to get that one, and then I'm also going to get one that I was going to keep. Okay. So when this pops up, you see here how this literally does not make sense. There's really very few ways you can do it. You can rotate it a little bit, but again, it's really hard to make it match, which is why I typically avoid these ones. Here though, it's perfect little side profile, and I'm going to make it bigger, and I'm going to place it where I want it. Now here's the thing to remember. You're going to see me kind of partially put it off the document like this. That's okay, because it will all make sense once we get to the next step. So again, it's okay if it goes off the page, because we're going to actually simplify that, and we're going to make your classroom interactive. So this is a tutorial on how to make it interactive. So I'm going to pause the recording for a second, because I want to spend some time decorating this now that you know how to insert images, so I can show you how to insert links and make it interactive. Again, you can use Teachers Pay Teachers. They're very beneficial, and they will have like furniture catalogs and things saved, and teachers have put together giant like documents of stuff you can just copy and paste right in that are transparent. So I would really recommend that. You can find a lot of free ones on Teachers Pay Teachers. So 1 second while I finish cleaning this up a bit, and I'll show you how to make it interactive. Okay, so on my screen, you should be able to see that I just kind of generally put some things together. Again, I can't emphasize enough that I feel it's important to explore Teachers Pay Teachers and look at the free documents, because a lot of the things here you see me put in, I did not find originally using the search engine. I found via some shared documents that are free resources for teachers. Loved it. It really helped out, especially like this wonderful little bookshelf here. And same here for this bookshelf with items inside of it already. And I love the ABC chart. But going back to it now, I want to show you guys something that's important that a lot of people are forgetting to do. And we are going to make a background. We're going to turn this whole entire thing into a picture first, or else the kids, even in present mode, are going to be clicking these rather easily. And you don't want them to click something that really does nothing. You want to add the link. So let's say I'm going to go, and there's two options to do this. One is to go to File, you slide down, and this also comes in handy for other things too. You're going to click Download and go down to a JPEG. I mean, you could use a PNG image, but JPEG is the most popular, and it will work on most platforms. So you're going to click this. It's going to be the current slide, so obviously make sure you're clicking this. And then you're going to see, like down here, it's going to open up. It's going to save a picture. Now, right here, you see a nice published image. Now, personally, I think this could be clearer, which is why this is still okay, but it does bother me that it's a slight bit blurry and not as clear as my screen is. So what I normally do, and it's okay if you don't know how to do this, then the picture avenue will work just fine, but I know how to take a screenshot, which on most computers is the Windows key, the one with the box, the lines through it, holding that down and the print screen at the same time. And then it takes a little screenshot of my screen. Then I go to my pictures, slide down to screenshots, and then I'm going to go and open with Paint, which is my favorite way to do it. I think it's just the easiest for me. And it's going to pop up, and I'm literally just going to crop the picture in a sense by pulling this out. And this is why it's not as important if something hangs out of it, because carefully you're going to literally cut out the extra. So it looks like a more, it's like a dimensional image. Once that's there, I'm going to drag this back over. Again, making sure you are careful. There we go. And then I'm going to save it as that. I'm just going to update it. I'm going to, for easier access, I'm dragging it to my computer screen, back into the Bitmoji backgrounds. There we go. So now we have this here. So I'm going to literally make another slide. So I'm going to edit, insert, move down the line, and slide. Again, I delete this because you do not need the writing like this. We can always make a text box later. I'm going to go to the same thing in background. So right click, change background, choose image, browse. Here's the one that I did the screenshot, which I prefer because it's clearer, and I'll show you the difference between the other one. So I'm gonna pop that on, and then just in case, just so this is only to show you the difference between images, I am going to also do another slide. Right click again, change background, choose image, upload. Okay, download today. Okay, so that's gonna load, and I'm gonna show you. It's a very slight difference, but if you're a little bit of a perfectionist like I am, it can bother you a little too much. So see here, this is my screenshot version, and this is their version. So you can tell the dimensions are a little different, and the color seems off on a few items, but to me, it works just fine with my screenshot version. So I'm gonna delete the one that I used for an example. Okay, you can leave this here for now, the one that is movable, but we're going to work on the one that isn't movable. So you see how I can't move that anymore? This is how I make it more interactive. So first I'm gonna go to like insert, text box. I can make a text box here, or I can go daily agenda. You can even add bulletin points. It's like morning meeting, and I can change the font and stuff. Art class, oops. Math, science, all right, leave it like that. And you can also fix it up a bit. So I'm going to go and make that centered. I'm going to make this a little smaller. And then I'm going to also change the font because I like to make it almost look a little bit more like handwriting. I think it's kind of fun that way. Obviously you want to pick a font that's easy to read, but I figured, especially because my kids are 5th graders, this should be relatively easier to read. If they're a younger kid that where font's going to be even more important, I would probably use just Comic Sans because it looks more like a handwriting, but it's pretty clear to be able to read if you're still getting used to it and you want them to practice those skills. But anyway, so here, when I click out of it, it even looks like someone wrote on the board. You can make other boxes, add stuff like that. You can now, here's where you're going to make things interactive again. See here, you can add books and book covers, like let's say insert. I'm going to do, see if I can find Molly. See, I can't find it because that's in there. So I'm going to find a different cover that might be more common. Okay. There we go. So I'm just going to grab this, and you can also, go to Google Images, save to your desktop, and then upload it that way. If they're not popping up where you want it, and that's totally fine. But I'm going to add this in. I'm going to make it smaller, and I'm going to make it quite small, but it's okay. So, and then I'm going to place it here. So I have a little book there. Now here's how you make it interactive. So let's say you have a website of somebody reading the book. Maybe you uploaded a link of yourself reading the book onto YouTube, or you just found a celebrity one. I can't remember the name at the time, but there's actually a very popular website that actually offers a lot of celebrities reading books. I have to get a hold of that website again because it's a safe platform and it's wonderful. You can get some familiar faces up there. But I'm just going to look for a very simple one. So I'm going to go cats in the hat, read aloud. There we go. And I'm going to click here. So I'm going to this YouTube.
It's your favorite family tradition.
There we go. Just turn off the mute. Okay. You take a look to make sure it's what you want.
By Dr. Seuss. The Sun.
And that's not a bad one. Again, there's other platforms you can use, but this is just a quick introduction on how to link. So feel free to change the link. You can use YouTube, you can use other things. I'm going to copy that, which again, you can just right click and copy, or you can click Control C, and Control is the CTRL key. And you're going to go back to your little example, and you're going to click the picture. You can right click it to do it, or you can just go to insert at the top left area like we have been. And then you're going to look for the one that says either link or add URL. There we go. Sometimes it takes me a second because I'm on so many platforms. Format options. I'll just end up doing insert. Maybe quicker. There it is. That's what I was looking for. There's link, and it looks like a little paper clip. You click that and it adds an option, and then make sure you click an icon because you're going to want it to be attached to a picture you have set there for a reason, so students can go, I need to do the read aloud. I'm going to click the picture of Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat. So, and then you're going to paste it there. You're going to apply. Now when the kids see this, they're not going to, like, when you click it, they're not going to see this. It will automatically redirect them, which I'll show you in the end how that works. But that's how you add a picture book here. You can add different things, like you can even make text boxes that have links attached, picture boxes. If you're making a Google site website, you can even attach it to maybe put on a laptop here and attach it there. I know my school uses some various things like Clever, which I would like to put in here, and there's ways to do that. So typically I do a bookshelf without books inside, but I thought that just looked good, but we can still cover them up. So I'm going to go to Insert, Image, Upload from Computer, Desktop, Bitmoji. Okay. If it wants to load. Okay, so I'm going to go to Clever. So I can go to Clever here. You can make it small. You could, if you wanted to, you could put it here, or you can just, what I'm going to do is try to make it fit on the bookshelf. It's okay if it covers some of the icons because it sticks out because it's such a bright color. And then I have an icon there. It's better once you fill up the shelf with other icons so these books won't be confusing. And the good news is, since the bookshelf itself is not clickable, I'm trying to click it right now, not happening. This is, so I can add a link to it. Something to remember with login links, make sure that you're going to the login screen for the students to get the URL, and make sure you just copy and paste it and make sure you get all of it, because you do not want to hand type it in, because if it's an error, then you're going to get like a corrupt warning saying it doesn't work or link doesn't exist, and because you have to make sure it's identical. One way to do this, if you're using Clever, which is something I can imagine being a problem for some people, what you're going to do is log in as a student, and you want it to be to this page where it says log in with Active Directory. Do not click it yet, and trust me, even if you're using a personal device, just because you link it and you're thinking, oh, what if it takes them to my Clever? It will not do that. It does not have, it's not linked to your account. It does nothing like that. Even when you link Google Classroom, the same thing. It only takes them to their Google Classroom, the one that they're logged into on their device. So see this long link? That's why it's easier just to copy it. And then I'm going to go back to our lovely class, not that one. 1 second. I apologize, my screen vanished. Not really what I meant to do. Sorry about that. Then I'm go back here, so I'm going to click the Clever. There we go. Good. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm still recording, not just talking to myself. So you click the Clever, and then you're going to go over to, again, to link it, which I'm just going to do from Insert, Link. I'm going to drop the link and apply. And now that's interactive. It will take them to the Clever link. So I'm going to X out of these. And I'm going to show you what happens when you are done. and everything is all nice and set up, then what you're going to do is you can view how the students will view it. There's actually a really fun way too, when you're done with this, to automatically send students to present mode in case they're using like a Chrome device, which is actually going to be in another video that I do. I'm just not doing it at the moment because I rather focus on this. But what the kids will see, because they will not be an editor, is this. They will see this little classroom here. They can't click things that aren't hyperlinked. They can't even click your little text here either, but this little button here, see how my icon became a hand? Same thing with the book. If you click that, you see how I get redirected to the image, to the website we were just at. The same thing will happen for our students. If I X out, it takes me back to present. I click the book now. Now I'm over back at this is the same read aloud we just looked at, and there's other ones in the side corner. That is how you make it presentable, and this is what the students will see. Now, again, this is different from the Google site that I have in other videos, but you can link them, which I love to do because I want kind of like a hub for students to all go to, and I connect it to Clever, I connect it to this, I connect it to everything so students can't get lost or get stuck in one place. But if you're going to do that, something to remember is you need to click this share button, and over here, you need to make sure you change the link, okay? Because if you're in our school district, then let's say they're using a parent's device, or maybe they're in a different email, or you're testing it out, or someone's outside of it, then they won't be able to open it. So what I like to do is anyone with the link, because the only way you would have the link is if I, linked it to a website or gave it to you. So you can do that and then just click viewer. And again, this only works when you're not using personal information. I can't stress that enough. If you're putting personal info in a Google Classroom like this, which I would honestly not advise, then you're going to make sure you keep that private. But this is just interactive for like takes them to things that are only owned in their username and login for like Chrome devices and their Google account. So you are good to keep it as viewer and anyone with the link. You can copy that link and it's updated. And then now when you attach it to like Clever, or if you attach it to your Google site, it'll take them to here as a viewer. And before I end this video, I want to show you how to do that real quick, because I feel like that's a question that's going to pop up. I'm going to go back to Clever and log into my account real quick. Active Directory, so don't mind me. Okay, I'm gonna let that log in. And you see here we're on ours. I already linked, this is another video about how to link these to your Clever account, which takes them to my website. But you can do the same thing and add your Google Classroom if you're not doing the website. So if you go to here, it's gonna see your first initial and your last name and page. Click that. You go to add, and then again, we're gonna do link. And if I put this here, we're gonna name it example Bitmoji Classroom. You can make categories, but you don't have to. And you can upload a picture if you want, but I'm going to delete this, so I'm just going to click a random one. I'm going to add link. It adds it for us, and if the students click it, boom, you're back at it. Again, they'll see it as a viewer. Since I'm logged into my account, it automatically takes me to edit. They will not be able to edit. It's just because I'm in my account. And it even kind of shows me again here. So that is how you make a Bitmoji Classroom in slides. It is different from the website, which if you see my earlier videos, you can link to it, but that's a Google site, S-I-T-E, and you can still link them like I do. Like again, this will take you to my virtual classroom, but you don't have to make both. I personally prefer to make both and link them to each other, but this is just an introduction about how you can make your own Google slide and how you can make it interactive. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I can try to help work through it. Sorry, I keep saying and such. I'm actually not really big into making these online videos. I'm getting used to it now that we're in this virtual classroom environment. But basically, that's all you have to do to make it. And just make sure, again, you change the share status and make sure it's only a viewer. You do not want people editing your document. Have a wonderful day, and I will look forward to one of my next instructional videos.